guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another IVF update. I feel like I haven't updated you guys in a while because not a lot has happened since my last update. So for my last update, it was an emotional one and I received so much support and love from so many of you guys, and I truly appreciate it. You have no idea how much that helps me. You know, just hearing all of your prayers, thoughts, experiences, things like that, gave me so much hope and put me in such a better mindset after that video. So I just want to thank you guys all for that. And from that last video, if you haven't watched it, it will be linked down below. I found out that we had one embryo to freeze. So obviously that was super tough news to get, especially since we had such great egg retrieval. We didn't have an appointment until January 3rd to find out kind of what happened, the results of all of it, the pictures, things like that. So that is where my update will start. From my doctor's appointment on January 3rd, they just went over, like I said, the whole process, and really there's no reason that they know of on why we went from 26 eggs retrieved, 25 mature, 16 inseminated, and then only one lasted. She just said, showing us the pictures, that they just didn't separate or didn't, divide into their cells like it was supposed to. And it could be so many different reasons. It's not anything to do with the sperm, because the sperm sample received that day was beautiful. Everything mobility, shape, count, all of it. I think it's a little bit of egg quality possibly. But she's you've had such a beautiful cycle that it's just so weird. There's nothing that they can really determine on what happened. She just kind of thinks that once the sperm and the egg created the embryo and got together, it just didn't work. It just didn't work. So maybe my husband's sperm and my egg together just wasn't happening. She originally wanted us to do a second egg retrieval before doing a transfer of the one frozen embryo, because I have great insurance and it covers, and we're mentally prepared for whatever happens either way, that we pushed forward with the transfer. And we were okay, we'll do the transfer. If it's not successful, then we'll just redo it all again. That's kind of what happened in the results meeting or results appointment. So I want to talk about this just really briefly because I want to get some of your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. So originally I was scheduled an egg transfer January 16th, and this was scheduled back in December with my second IVF coordinator. Don't know what happened to my first one. She kind of sucked anyways. So my second IVF coordinator scheduled me the transfer, started me on birth control, and yeah, my birth control just so happened to end, and I got my period the same day as my doctor's appointment. And my doctor mentioned to me don't forget to call when you start your period. And I didn't even know this. My coordinator did not tell me that I was supposed to call or anything like that. Long story short, it was the 16th. I emailed her once I got my period, which was the 4th, and she was oh, email this person. And I'm okay. And previously to my appointment, a week before, I had asked her hey, what's my schedule looking like? When do I start my meds, blah, 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 etc. Never responded. So when I emailed her, she told me to email this person, which then became my third coordinator. I was so upset because my third coordinator didn't seem to know what was going on with my file. They were gonna start me on birth control again, and I was hold up. I had been on birth control for literally 3 weeks now. I just started my period. Why am I starting it again? And I told her, I was that I have a transfer scheduled on the 16th. She's there's absolutely no way that we'll be able to start you on your meds fast enough to do a transfer the 16th. And I'm I literally lost it because it's been such, they've made it so difficult for me during this whole process. Yeah, I apologized to her because I was like, I know it's not your fault, but this is just getting ridiculous. It's very unorganized, and like, I don't care that we're pushing the transfer back, but this is just so ridiculous. So like, I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of it all, but it was just ridiculous. So I want to know out there, like, if any of you guys are going through a current cycle, have been through a current cycle, like, how is your IVF coordinator? Because I'm on my third one. Third one seems like real good. I really, really like her. She responds to me right away when I have any questions. People spend a lot of money to do this, and not just the money, but the emotional like investment that you have in this process. And for people that you literally put your entire trust in to make sure everything goes right, aren't doing their job, like, it infuriates me. Anyways, let me know down below if you had an awful experience with your IVF coordinator too, if it was just all over the place. That's one thing I just wanted to touch in this update video. So then she moved my transfer date to the 23rd. We started my medications, my estrogen and my estrogen pills, yeah, and my patches, which was awful. I just had a major breakdown because I started my pills on the 8th of January, and then I was fine all day, and then the 9th I added my patches. Well, on the night of the 10th, I broke out in ridiculous hives. I had no idea what it was. I thought it was something I ate, because the first thing that happened was my lips got swollen, and I was like, whoa, I've never had a reaction like this. Like, my lips are getting swollen, they feel weird, then my hands, and then I just started getting really itchy and broke out into hives. I took an allergy medicine. When I came home, I knocked out. I was fine. The next morning I woke up, same thing happened. I, had taken my I had my patches on, I had taken my pills, and I instantly broke out into hives, and I just couldn't figure it out. And well, long story short, we figured it was my pills. And I just had a breakdown, because I'm like, if I'm allergic to estrogen, like, how am I supposed to move forward with this cycle? I need to be taking estrogen. I will insert a clip of a video I took of one of the nights that I broke out pretty bad, and I just had my meltdown, and like, I just didn't know what to do. I couldn't still figure out what it was. So I'll insert the clip now. I'm having a pretty bad allergic reaction to them. I had to take off my patch this morning because it was really bad. I've never had an allergic reaction to anything, so it's pretty bad, and I'm gonna show you guys. Yeah, I'm just like, so I'm miserable. I've been sick the last 3 to 4 days, and then this happened, and it just flared up, and I really don't know what to do, because if it's the estrogen pills, then like, I have to stop, because I can't take it. It's like really breaking me back, like just breaking me out really bad. And if I can't take the estrogen pill, like, I don't know what else they have to put me on to help. So I just don't know, but I just wanted to show you guys. You can kind of see the little bumps on them. My toes are so swollen, and they're just really, really itchy. This morning my legs were pretty bad, but right now it's not too bad. So I'm in the bathroom where you guys can see a little bit better. Even then, the lighting isn't really showing much, but my whole arm is just like broken out into hives. But just look how bad that is, like. Yeah, so that was me breaking out into hives. Isn't that crazy? We did figure it out. I texted my coordinator right away, and she told me to get off the pills. And I told her, I was like, is that gonna affect it? She's like, you know what, we think it's just the pills. It could be anything in the pills, we don't know. So just get off the pills and double up on your patches. I'm already wearing 2 patches, so they just made me wear 3 patches. And she says, if you break out bad again, then we'll need to stop everything, and you will need to wait and do a second cycle. I put 3 patches on. I was still fine because the patches take a little bit longer to, you know, enter your bloodstream. Well, I did end up breaking out with my patches, not as bad and not as fast. I didn't tell her that I broke out with my patches again because our transfer date is so soon that I can just literally suffer through it. Like I said, when I take an allergy pill, I'm fine, but I'd rather suffer through it to do my transfer, especially since it's not as bad as me taking the pills, and just take it. Like, I'm okay with it. So my transfer was still scheduled for the 23rd. I went in for my ultrasound and blood work, and later that day they called me and she told me that my blood work looks great even after me stopping my pills and just having the patches as my estrogen. My hormones look great and my lining was actually ready. So my lining was ready and she was like, we're gonna have to move your transfer date up again. And I'm like, oh gosh, like I feel so bad for work because they have been working with my schedule throughout this entire process so much, and I'm so grateful for that. They started me on my progesterone in oil shots. I just had, today's Monday, the 16th. I went in for my blood work and they just called me and said everything looks beautiful. My estrogen levels are still really good. My body has reacted very, very well to the progesterone, and we are still scheduled for the 19th for a transfer for sure, which is in 3 days. Like, it's definitely been a rough journey, super emotional. The experience was just, I will never forget this. Every little bit of it. It has been a rough one for me. Mentally, emotionally, all of that. You know, pushing back the transfer date, and it was almost the point where like I wanted to just give up and just whatever fucking happens. But like I was just like, no, like we're so close that I cannot give up. Especially after the hive breakout, I wanted to give up so bad. Like I just wanted to be like, okay, I'm done. I'm not taking the estrogen. Let's stop the cycle and we will figure it out. But I just, you know, I kept going, and I'm glad I did, because at this point I'm so positive that everything's gonna work out. Oh, I'm gonna get emotional. Probably because I'm pumped with so much hormones. But I'm so positive that everything's gonna work out. We're gonna have a beautiful miracle baby. And if not, like, we're mentally prepared for that. We said that, you know, if it happens, we're obviously gonna be so happy. And if it doesn't happen, if the transfer doesn't go as planned and is not successful, we're gonna take a nice beach vacation, all inclusive, and just really just have a good vacation and enjoy ourselves, and then like really just relax and come back and restart everything again and be in a different mindset for the second cycle. So either way, I'm looking at it as a win-win situation. If I have to do a second cycle, I know exactly what I need to do, what I need to be on top of, like all of it. I'm like a pro at it now, I feel like. So I'm ready for the second cycle, or I'm ready for a baby. Either way, it's gonna be amazing. I will obviously do videos of the transfer and just our results, things like that, and I will post that for you guys when that happens. But I want to thank everyone so much for, like I said, all the love and support. It is truly incredible. All the people that I don't know personally, I could feel all of your positivity. Like I could feel all your prayers, and it's just incredible. It's incredible what YouTube, you know, what kind of community this is. So I'm happy to be a part of it. And that is all for my IVF update. I have to go do my progesterone shot right now and then head to work. So I will keep you guys all posted, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Bye.